subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
It provides awareness generation programs, as well as it enhances, it conducts capacity enhancement programs as well. And about SPYM has over about 28 years of expertise in the field of drug abuse, prevention, and early intervention among children, adolescents, youth, and adults. SPYM has launched a special initiative in India to reform and rehabilitate juveniles in conflict with a dependency on narcotics. At first of its kind, specialized center for children in addiction and crime. SPYM is running 24 shelter homes in across Delhi, where they offer basic essential services like food, clothes, clean drinking water, toilet facilities, etc. SPYM runs drop-in center that centers need fulfill the needs of vulnerable children and who are dependent on drugs. This center has large concentration of street children, and many of them are rag pickers. So also SPYM is managing targeted intervention sites for HIV/AIDS prevention among injecting drug users and long distance truck drivers also. So today we are discuss about, as we all know, drug abuse, prevention of drug abuse. Drug use does not only affect its user, but also disrupt the whole family and also the society as a whole. Regular consumption of drug leads to the dependence on the drug. Drug use can lead to many disorders such as, hepatitis B, C, HIV/AIDS, insomnia, restlessness, cardiovascular disease, etc. The use of drugs also increases the case of suicides, violence, and accidents. It is also linked with the increased rates of crime such as theft, robbery, rapes, etc. So without taking much time, I would like to welcome our renowned speakers, Dr. Rajesh Kumarji, who is Executive Director SPYM. So he is going to address us on overview on drug abuse. So we are too grateful for you to saving your valuable time for today's discussion, and we are looking forward to hear on a very prominent topic. So a very warm welcome to you, sir. Our second speaker, Ms. Kalyani, who is consultant SPYM and Action India, and she'll discuss about community level intervention. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. A very good morning to you, and we are looking forward to hear you on this topic and about community level intervention. And a brief introduction will be given by our moderator, Mr. Rajat Thomas, and Mr. Satyabhan Singh ji. So we are really eager to hear you on very important and prominent topic. So I would now request Rajat to please proceed forward. And over to you, Rajat. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. Now you can take the lead. Stage is all yours.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Mukta. I think you've given a very good introduction about, I think, SPYM and BYK. I think a lot of NGOs, a lot of youth, a lot of teachers, professors, I think a lot of people from various diverse fields are joining this webinar. And let me, I think, just to share with all the participants and everybody, this is not the first time that BYK and SPYM are collaborating on this very, very important issue of drug abuse. I think we have been regularly conducting national youth forums on drug abuse for many years, and we are also working with SPYM. We always take advice from SPYM on anything related to drug abuse. I think they are the most forefront organization in India working on drug abuse. So I hope that today's webinar will be very fruitful. As we all know, this issue of drug abuse is now being highlighted a lot in the mainstream media as well, and a lot of people are concerned about it. So, and just before giving a small introduction about Rajesh sir, I would just request, I think this webinar will be incomplete if we do not have a participatory approach. I think we have the question answer box in the Zoom. So we would request all the participants to post their questions in the question answer box, and right in the end of the discussion we will be taking question and answers which our speakers will be very happy to answer. And for all other details, there is the chat box as well. So you may put all your queries in the chat box as well. So now to start with the first speaker of the day, Dr. Rajesh Kumarji, we welcome you, sir. He's the Executive Director of SPYM, and just also giving you a introduction as well. Dr. Rajesh is the Executive Director of SPBIOM, and also the Executive Director for Federation of Indian NGOs for Drug Abuse Prevention. He is a member of the Juvenile Justice Committee of the Honorable High Court of India. Dr. Rajesh was awarded the National Youth Award by the then Prime Minister of India, Mr. Vishwanath Pratap Singh. In 1989, he was awarded for his contribution for prevention of drug abuse in India. He has oriented and trained police personnel on drug abuse and prevention and to sensitization as well. Dr. Kumar has furthermore served as project director for various community empowerment and training programs for Panchayat, which are organized by this central government. So we welcome you. So it is a privilege for us, and I think it will be really important for all the participants to hear from you. So the stage is all yours, sir.
Thank you, Rajesh, and thank you, Vishwa Kendra. Thank you very much for the opportunity and the partnership. As I was told that this program will be bilingual because there are a lot of people from Delhi and slums and a lot of people from southern part of the country. So ये दोनों में program होगा, Hindi and English. So I'll try to do justice. Drug use, abuse, misuse, harmful use. These are the terms. ये सब जो terms हैं. This is very important to understand. So let me first start on basics of drug. The basics of drug means what is drug? Drug क्या है? Any medicine which is being provided by a medical professional for the treatment of individual, that is called medicine or drug. Unfortunately, what is happening? Some drugs are habit forming, or very quickly they develop dependency. So some drugs are not allowed over the counter. Some drugs are allowed over the counter. कुछ ऐसा drug है जिसको आप बाजार से बगैर डॉक्टर के प्रिस्क्रिप्शन के खरीद सकते हैं. Some drugs उसके लिए you need doctor's prescription. So then why we are bothered about drug use? The problem is some of the drugs which were being used, कुछ ऐसे drugs थे जो पिछले हजारों साल से use हो रहा था. The drugs which were used for thousands of years, gradually people realize and recognize that these drugs are not good for long term or long run. ये बहुत समय के लिए ये अच्छा नहीं है. So different countries at different point of time, including United Nations, the bodies, they have defined drugs into two different categories. One is called legal and other is called illegal drugs. Now what is legal drug? Legal drug क्या है? लीगल ड्रग वो ड्रग है जिसको कि हम आराम से बाजार में खरीद सकते हैं. We can buy any drug from the market without any problem. One can store it, one can use it, one can sell it. Of course, there are some restrictions like there has to be a doctor's prescription. A seller needs a license to sell those drugs, and the person who is taking drug needs permission from the doctor to use that drug. So any drug which is not allowed by the government, that is called illegal drugs. So right now we are more focusing in this country on illegal drugs. Now, so later I'll come what is legal drug and what is illegal, types of legal and illegal drug. So basically what generally we are focusing on illegal drugs. But over a period of time, what we have recognized, पिछले 2-3 दशकों में हमने ये realize किया है that prescription drugs are more misused than the illegal drugs. What is prescription drug? Prescription drug means जो doctor prescribe करता है आपके इलाज के लिए. Doctor prescribes it for your medical treatment. Now these drugs are generally procured from the medicine shops, from chemists without prescription. And gradually वो dependency form करता है. So we will be focusing on legal, illegal and pharmaceutical drugs. So these are 3 different types of drugs. Then we will be also discussing we will also discuss demand and supply. And third, we will discuss about the natural drug and synthetic drug. So let me start with basic these terms. मुझे ये जो 3-4 शब्द हैं उनके बारे में आपको पहले बता दूं. Drug use क्या? What is drug use? Drug use means a doctor has prescribed someone a particular medicine for the treatment, that is called drug use. After some time, if someone, after 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, still if they are using that particular medicine without doctor's prescription, that is called drug abuse or drug misuse. Third term is called harmful use. So after a year or 6 months or 9 months, depending on what type of drug someone is taking, yes, depend करता है कि वो किस तरह का नशा ले रहा है या किस तरह का ड्रग ले रहा है. So वो थोड़े समय के बाद, after some time, what happens? This particular drug is no more abused or used. It is creating only harm. What is harm? Harm is this person has now become dependent on a particular drug. ये उस particular drug के ऊपर dependency उसकी बन गई है, निर्भरता बन गई है, और उसके बगैर वो रह नहीं सकता. That person cannot live without this particular drug, and that is creating harmful effect on mind and body both. So there are two type of dependency. One is called psychological dependency, another is called physical dependency. दो तरह का निर्भरता होती है. पहली निर्भरता जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं मानसिक, और दूसरा कहते हैं शारीरिक. अब I have used the word dependency. So let me further explain 3 different terms. One term is called dependency, second is called tolerance, the third is called withdrawal. These are the 3 terms. Around these 3 terms, the entire drug problem or drug addiction or drug dependency, ये इसकी चारों तरफ ही ये सारे के सारे जो प्रॉब्लम वो घूमते हैं. So the problem is around these 3 terms. Now, what are these 3 terms? One is called dependency. What is dependency? निर्भरता क्या है? Dependency means someone has started using a particular drug, but after certain period, this person feels uncomfortable if he or she does not continue using that particular substance or drug. So that is called dependency. अब वो उस पर निर्भर हो गया, उसके बगैर उसका जीना मुश्किल होता जा रहा है. What is tolerance? Initially, someone was taking only 1 tablet or 1 gram or half a gram or a quarter gram of particular substance. Now the person is taking much more than what this individual was taking 6 months back or 1 year back or 3 months back. So उसका tolerance भी बढ़ता जा रहा है, उसकी dependency भी बढ़ती जा रही है. What is withdrawal? If the person does not take that particular substance, then within, say, after certain hours or after a certain day or week, this person will feel very uncomfortable. It's in a very rare case it's after a week, but mostly within a day or after a few hours, the person starts feeling uncomfortable situation, and that is called withdrawal. I give you a very simple example. मैं आपको बहुत आसान सा example देता हूँ. Most of you must be taking what you call tea. ना आप में से काफी लोग चाय पीते होंगे. एक particular time आपका चाय पीने का fix है. It could be in the morning, it could be around 11 o'clock, it could be around 4 o'clock, 11 बजे, 4 बजे सुबह. At that particular point of time, if you do not get tea, then how you feel, what you feel, that is called withdrawal. Since it is difficult to interact with all of you, generally in the classroom session, we share much more than what I could share right now. So what is that? That is headache, anxiety, uncomfortable situation. आपको लगेगा कि अभी अगर चाय मिल जाए तो मैं आराम फील करूँगा. What is that आराम? आराम is that now the body has realized that if a particular substance is not provided, the person will feel uncomfortable. And the moment that particular substance is provided, so withdrawal is managed. So these are the terms which we have to understand why people keep taking drugs time and again. बार बार वो drug क्यों लेता है? Because body में, दिमाग में हमारा signal जाता है. There is a signal goes from one part to another part of the mind, that particular substance which was used, say, 6 hours back or 8 hours back, or it all depends on a particular substance, that what will be the frequency and what will be the severity of that particular drug. So or addiction, मतलब कितना severe है आपका addiction, उसके आधार पे आपको पता चलता है कि कौन सा ड्रग कितना जल्दी लेना है और कितने देर तक लेना है और उसका असर कितने देर तक रहता है। सो प्रॉब्लम इज जनरली वी डू नॉट अंडरस्टैंड कि हम इस पे डिपेंडेंट हो गए। वी डू नॉट अंडरस्टैंड दैट नाउ वी आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन अ पर्टिकुलर substance. And again, go back to the my earlier example of taking tea or coffee. That when someone starts taking tea or coffee, does not understand that gradually this individual is becoming dependent. After 5 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, the person feels comfortable if they are provided this particular substance. They feel uncomfortable if they are not provided this particular substance. एक व्यक्ति को जब चाय मिल जाती है तो अच्छा लगता है, उसको रिलीफ मिलता है, and that is called हमने उस अपने विड्रॉल को मैनेज कर दिया। सो यू अंडरस्टैंड, अब आप समझ सकते हैं, टी विच इज जनरली इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ नॉर्मल डे कटसी, कि अगर कोई घर में आया, इफ यू डोंट ऑफर टी द पर्सन विल बी अनकंफर्टेबल। बट थिंक अबाउट द ड्रग्स विच आर so harmful, highly dependency creating, and the person, if that does not take that particular drug, can go into severe withdrawal. अगर वो particular वो drug नहीं लेता है तो severe withdrawal में जाएगा, and then the withdrawal could be vomiting, severe headache, joint ache, difficult situation, vomiting होगा, उल्टी आएंगी, सर में दर्द होगा, joint में दर्द होगा. So this becomes a very difficult situation. So then people start taking time and again, their times are more or less fixed, and this phase is called the phase of addiction. So the first phase is use, abuse or misuse, harmful use, and the last is, it's called addiction phase. पहला दो phase में generally family does not know. In first two phases, families have no idea that my son or my family members are using particular substance. From third and fourth phase, they are aware that yes, there is a problem in my house. There is a problem with my particular, individual member of our family. So then only people come to know that yes, there is a problem. Now, generally, people think that okay, if you stop supplying drug, लोगों को लगता है कि अगर उन्होंने drug supply बंद कर दिया, तो सारा problem ठीक हो जाएगा. No, if generally, and that is a supply side. People think that if you stop supplying drug or availability of the drug in the market, the people will leave drug and they will be normal. This is very good on paper, but that doesn't work on ground. ये ground पे, जमीन पे, ये सतह पे ये काम नहीं करता. I give you a very simple example. Alcohol is illegal in India's, I think, 5 states: Bihar, Gujarat, Manipur, Mizoram, and Nagaland. These are the 5 states where alcohol is banned. Legally, no one can buy it, no one can consume it, no one can sell it. Of course, in some states like in Gujarat, there are some exemption. Exemption means the tourists can use it, or some star hotels can serve to international guests. So that is fine. But in other states, even that is not allowed. Now, do you think that alcohol is not available in Bihar or Gujarat or these Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland? That is not the reality. Because SPIM is working with either directly or with our own partners, and we understand what is the field situation. So supply reduction is one aspect of the program or problem. Unfortunately, the government and society, they focus more on supply reduction. Unko lagta hai, for example, I remember when this prohibition was being introduced in Bihar, and there was a debate on NDTV, and one of the very important minister of Nitish government that time, he said that हमने तो ये इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया, अब कल से सारा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएगा. एंड आई सेड, आपने बंद कर दिया लीगल सप्लाई, बट have you decided how to control illegal supply? He said, there is the supply is not there, people will not drink, so the problem is over. And just 2 years back, there was a big seizure in a place called Muzaffarpur, and who was involved in it? Senior Superintendent of Police of Muzaffarpur District. वो सीनियर सुपरिटेंडेंट जो पुलिस है मुजफ्फरपुर डिस्ट्रिक्ट का, वो इन्वॉल्व था डायरेक्टली. 4 ट्रक आता था, एक ट्रक वो पकड़वाता था, 3 ट्रक मार्केट में बेच देता था. सो please understand, and we will be focusing mostly on supply, on demand reduction rather than supply reduction. I am not discounting that supply reduction is not important. Supply reduction is very important. But if the demand reduction is not there, supply reduction has its own limitation. Like ओपीएम और ओपिएट्स, जो अफीम या अफीम के जैसे जो प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, वो गांजा, marijuana, cocaine and other drugs, these are all illegal in the country, and they are controlled by various agencies. Supply of these drugs are controlled by various agencies. But since SPYM is working with substance users, and we understand, हम लोग इनके साथ काम करते हैं, और हमारे बीच में कुछ बहनें हैं जो अलग अलग अभी इलाके से है, जहांगीरपुरी से, मंगलपुरी से, और मेरे ख्याल से after कल्याणी जी सेशन they will be sharing their information. Virtually every second or third house can access drug locally. Why? Because there is a demand. And simple economics, economic theory is that if supply is reduced, demand is there, then what will happen? The price will go up because demand is there and supply is less. Once the price goes up, new supplier will emerge in the market, and they will invent and innovate. वो नया तरीका ढूंढते हैं ड्रग को लेकर आने के लिए. I give you a simple example. Again, this is Narcotics Control Bureau of India, which is right now in the news. From there, the senior officers and various custom officers, information, उनकी सूचना के आधार पे ये बताया जाता है that almost 20 to 30% people, those who come from Afghanistan to India, जो अफगानिस्तान से, काबुल से जो दिल्ली आते हैं, they carry drug in their body. वो अपने बॉडी के अंदर ड्रग कैरी करके आते हैं. Now you cannot screen everyone because the flight duration from Kabul to Delhi is around 1 hour or even less than an hour. So वो अंदर से वो सॉलो करके आते हैं और यहाँ आके उस ड्रग को बाहर निकालते हैं. So and sometimes they die also, because I remember three either Latin American couriers, those who were carrying heroin in their body, they died. They died at one died at the Indira Gandhi airport and two died in Ram Manohar Lohia hospital because there was an overdose of the drug. जिसमें उन्होंने वो ड्रग रखा हुआ था अपनी बॉडी में, वो फट गया, वो बस्ट किया, and there was overdose of that particular drug and they died. So you understand, if we do not reduce demand, अगर demand नहीं घटाएंगे, all our program will be defeated. ये कामयाब नहीं होता है. ड्रग इफेक्ट्स के आधार पे बहुत तरीके से हम इसको बांट सकते हैं. देयर आर सम ड्रग्स which कुछ ऐसे ड्रग्स हैं जो स्टिमुलेट करता है हमारे एक्टिविटीज को. Again, tea, coffee, cigarette, tobacco, these are all from the stimulant category. There are drugs, कुछ ऐसे ड्रग्स हैं जो डिप्रेस करता है. For example, all opiate drugs. जब मैं opiate बोलता हूँ, अफीम एक ऐसा फ्लावर है जिसके बल्ब से ड्रग लिया जाता है, और उसको जब आप प्यूरिफाई करते हैं या फर्दर उसको इम्प्रूव करते हैं, तो उससे हीरोइन बनता है. And God has given a beautiful gift to us, because this is the best possible painkiller on earth. दुनिया में इससे अच्छा दर्द को मारने के लिए कोई दवा नहीं है. जितने भी बड़े बड़े ऑपरेशंस होते हैं या जो भी डिफिकल्ट ऑपरेशंस होता है, उसके पहले जो ड्रग दिया जाता है, you might have heard about pethidine, fentanyl, there are various drugs. मैं बहुत सारे ड्रग्स का नाम नहीं लेना चाहता हूँ. That is all produced from opium. और उसका जो एक adulterated form है, that is called smack. जो smack है वो बड़ा ही use में है at the street level, and that is also the produced from opium. So ये जो drug है, ये इंडिया में यूज होता है, और ये डिप्रेसेंट्स की कैटेगरी में आता है, और इसका मिसयूज बहुत ज्यादा होता है. Now let me come on what is natural drug and what is synthetic drug. Natural drug का मतलब है any drug which you get directly from the nature. that is called also narcotics drug. You might have heard about the, अभी तो virtually हर टीवी चैनल पे जब सुशांत सिंह की बात आती है या उसके बाद जितने भी फिल्म स्टार की बात आती है तो NDPS एक्ट की बात आती है, नार्कोटिक्स ड्रग एंड साइकोट्रोपिक सब्सटेंस एक्ट. Now what is this narcotics? Narcotics is any drug which we procure directly from the nature, that is called narcotic drug. And इसमें क्या कौन कौन सा ड्रग आता है? इसमें marijuana. When I say marijuana plant has 4 type of drugs. marijuana जो जिसको आप लोग गांजा का प्लांट बोलते हैं, गांजा का पौधा बोलते हैं, उससे 4 ड्रग निकलता है. पहला है जिसको we call it भांग. भांग is legal in India. अब आपको एक सोच होगा कि भांग इंडिया में क्यों लीगल है? बिकॉज भांग मारिजुआना प्लांट का जो पत्ता है, जो फीमेल प्लांट है, उसका जो पत्ता है दैट इज कॉल्ड भांग. पत्ते में जो दाना लगा होता है, जो रेजिन होता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड चरस और हशीश. एंड उसका जो फ्लावर और सीड है दैट इज कॉल्ड गांजा. सो मारिजुआना या वीड या हैश इज हशीश और चरस. So these are the 3 drugs, and of course hash का जो oil होता है that is called hash oil. So these are the 4 drugs which we get from marijuana plant और गांजा के पौधे से मिलता है. 1 is legal and 3 are illegal. You can always ask why 1 is legal and why 3 are not legal. Then opium निकलता है poppy plant से, which is again cultivated in India legally, illegally both. इंडिया के लेफ्ट साइड में जो कंट्रीज है, अफगानिस्तान, पाकिस्तान, ईरान, दैट इज कॉल्ड गोल्डन क्रिसेंट. दे प्रोड्यूस द लार्जेस्ट क्वांटिटी ऑफ ओपियम ऑन अर्थ. दुनिया में सबसे ज्यादा जो अफीम पैदा होता है वो इन्हीं इलाकों में पैदा होता है. एंड और ईस्टर्न साइड ऑफ इंडिया, मणिपुर, मिजोरम, नागालैंड का जो बॉर्डर है, वहाँ म्यांमार, लाओस एंड थाईलैंड, ये जो 3 कंट्रीज दैट इज कॉल्ड गोल्डन ट्रायंगल, यहाँ पे भी ओपियम बहुत ज्यादा पैदा होता है. सो दीज आर द 2 एरियाज which produces around 95% of opium on earth, illegal drugs, and India is sandwiched between these 2 countries, these 2 areas. इन 2 एरिया के बीच में हम लोग एक सैंडविच के समान है. and that is the reason if you see Punjab, part of Rajasthan, part of Jammu and Kashmir, they are all bordering Pakistan, so we get heroin or heroin products from Pakistan. And similarly मणिपुर, नागालैंड, मिजोरम, ये 3 स्टेटों में भी बहुत ज्यादा ड्रग यूज है, एंड दे गेट ड्रग फ्रॉम दीज 3 कंट्रीज, लाओस, म्यांमार एंड थाईलैंड. ऑफ कोर्स मेजॉरिटी कम्स फ्रॉम म्यांमार, मींस बर्मा ओनली. तो ये तो नेचुरल ड्रग हो गया जिसको नार्कोटिक्स ड्रग बोलते हैं. सो वंस फॉर ऑल यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड व्हेन समवन सेज
some details about the film.
Pardon?
So it's called Success Story में आप चाहेंगे ना, तो this is a peer.
Hello. Okay, sorry, I think there was some problem. Okay, and the third is called psychotropic substances. What is psychotropic substances? वो psychotropic substance क्या होता है? वो पदार्थ, that substance which is generally produced in the lab and upscaled in factories. It could be a very small factory, a room-based factory, or it could be a large factory. For example, amphetamine types of stimulant, ATS, that drug is generally used by BPO centers or young students, those who want to study for longer period, those who want to stay awake. So they use ATS, and ATS is majority of the ATS in India is supplied from Mekong Valley, that is Myanmar and Thailand का जो area है, लाहौर का area, वहां से आता है. बहुत सारे ऐसे ड्रग्स हैं. I'm not going to take names, because I don't know, some of you might start experimenting. The whole intention of this program is give you understanding, not the encouragement to use drugs. So there are a lot of drugs which are synthetic drugs, and those synthetic drugs, most of you might have heard about the LSD. LSD is also synthetic drug. So there are a lot of drugs. बहुत सारा ऐसा ड्रग है जो लैब में पैदा होता है, लैब में बनाया जाता है और कारखानों में उसका बड़े स्केल पे उत्पादन होता है. Those are called synthetic drugs. That's why जो अभी जो ड्रग का नाम है, जो एक्ट का नाम है, that is called NDPS Act, Narcotics, Drug and Psychotropic Substance Act, NDPS Act. और NDPS Act में बहुत सारे प्रोविजंस हैं. एक जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोविजन है वो प्रोविजन है 64A का. If a drug user is caught using drug that person will have an opportunity to go for the treatment without going to jail. Another drug which is actually not drug, that's called petroleum product. आप सबने देखा होगा बच्चों को सूंघते हुए. You might have seen children sniffing something अपने रुमाल में, cloth में, handkerchief में, or in plastic, huffing, sniffing. That drug is called volatile solvent, and that is actually not drug at all. That is just petroleum product. वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ petroleum product है और उसको पैदा किया गया है petroleum product के रूप में. Unfortunately, that is being most of the time used by children. दुर्भाग्य ये है कि अधिकतर समय बच्चे इसको यूज करते हैं because that's very cheap, it's easily available, and one can use it just to अपने वो जो परेशानी को थोड़ा सा कम करने के लिए बच्चे यूज करते हैं. Because most of the kids, those who are on the street, almost 80 to 90% children have been using it, or they use quite often. तो ये जो drug है, that is most dangerous drug for children. In fact, heroin was invented by German scientists as a painkiller, but this drug means petroleum product or volatile solvent was never invented as drug. So please do not ignore if a child is using volatile solvent. And when I say volatile solvent, it could be a Varnish, it could be Fevicol, it could be glue, it could be whitener, it could be paint. So please help that child to come out from this particular substance. I will be also talking about some कितना टाइम है मेरे पास रजत जी? रजत जी
सर अभी है सर, प्लीज.
हाँ नहीं, मुझे एक अंदाजा बता दीजिए अकॉर्डिंगली. देन
15 मिनट्स है सर.
15 minutes.
Yes, sir. You can take 15 minutes. Please continue, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So these are the drugs which are generally misused, and most of these drugs are banned. But how can you ban Varnish? How can you ban paint? How can you ban Fevicol or Quick Fix? You cannot ban it. Fortunately, in India, there is a separate act that's called Children Act. When I say Children Act means Juvenile Justice Act, and that was reintroduced in 2015, and it was implemented from 2017. In that particular act, उस particular कानून में sections 77 and 78 these are the two different sections. In those sections में अगर किसी बच्चे को कोई tobacco देता है, कोई drug देता है, if someone is offering a child tobacco, when I deliberately I'm mentioning the word tobacco because this generally we don't understand that tobacco is bad. Tobacco is very bad. The way I have defined volatile solvent, tobacco is equally bad, and that tobacco is also tobacco and volatile solvent both are gateway drug for children. So what happens if someone is offering drug can go to jail up to 7 years? Section 77 and 78 are very clear. Unfortunately, in that particular section, volatile solvent was not included, and we are grateful to Honorable Juvenile Justice Boards of Delhi. They took it very seriously, and I would like to mention Mr. Arul Verma. He was the principal magistrate of a particular Juvenile Justice Board. Both of us, we decided isko kaise control kiya jaye, how we prevent children accessing these volatile solvents. So as principal magistrate, he did an extremely good job. And there is a committee in Delhi that's a committee for substance use prevention, which is chaired by Chief Secretary of Delhi. So what happened? ये जो committee came out with one simple notification. In that notification, it was very clearly stated and mentioned that anyone offering child any volatile solvent will be punishable under law. And we knew that this notification might not be enough. But keeping this notification into consideration, what happened? Juvenile Justice Board sentenced 2-3 big suppliers of volatile solvents to children, and then they were booked under this, and we understood and we knew that someone will appeal in the Honorable High Court of Delhi, and that happened. They appealed in the court of Honorable Court of High Court of Delhi, and High Court of Delhi gave a judgment, and that judgment, it is very clearly mentioned that any person who is offering volatile solvent to children, they will be also liable for punishment under section 77 and 78. Now you can ask, आप पूछ सकते हैं कि साहब एक कोई बच्चा जा रहा है एक गम खरीदने के लिए, एक फेविकॉल का बॉटल लेने के लिए, आप उसको कैसे पनिश कर सकते हैं? So in that notification it was mentioned that if a small quantity one can buy on their own, if the quantity is more, there has to be a letter from the family or from the school or from the teacher to procure this, number one. Number two, the family has to accompany this child to buy these drugs, these products. It's not drug, these products. And around 50 people have been till now booked under section 77 and 78 in Delhi, violating the order of Honorable High Court of Delhi. So since there are a lot of people right now watching from different parts of the country, I literally request you, urge you, please take this very seriously. If you find someone, अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि आपके इलाके में बच्चों को volatile solvent दिया जा रहा है, generally in Delhi it is called whitener को क्या कहते हैं? There's some street name. So ये जो drug है, ये जो substances है, अगर बच्चे use करते हैं, try to find out from which supplier they are being provided, and complain in the police under section 77 and 78, and I'm sure the police will be forced to take action against those big suppliers. So now let me, I have discussed use, abuse, misuse, addiction, I have dependency, withdrawal, tolerance, legal, illegal drugs, natural, and psychotropic substances. Now let me spend 5-7 minutes on treatment, and then at the end I will be also discussing the recent trend on various news channels, what is happening and how you can prevent and protest. Just 1 second, let me take some water. Okay, treatment is possible and treatment is feasible, but whether the treatment should be the first course of action or there should be something else. Treatment जो इलाज है वही इलाज संभव है, इलाज अच्छा है और इलाज करवाना चाहिए, मगर क्या इलाज ही पहला हमारा इंटरवेंशन होना चाहिए? I'll say no. And what we should follow, and we have been working with Vishwa Kendra on this particular topic. Very important is early prevention. What is early prevention? 90% children do not use drug. Since they do not use drug, they must not use drug. And what type of life skills we give them to ensure that they don't take drug in future and they stay away from drug. So that is called early prevention. And Kalyani ji amongst us, and she will be the next speaker. She is expert on this particular subject, and she has been training a lot of people. She has developed a nice module for Government of India also. So she will be sharing some information on that. Second important is early intervention. If the children have started using drug or young people have started using drug, they should not wait that they become dependent and addict. So early intervention means if they have started it, the family member should take this individual to a professional. Professional, when I say professional, means जिसकी training हुई है, जिसको पता है addiction क्या है, addiction का इलाज कैसे होता है, addiction में क्या क्या चीजों की जरूरत होती है. So that is very important. Third is early treatment. Early treatment का मतलब है कि the people, those who have started using drug, must be treated the moment they come to know. Unfortunately, large number of organizations, those who are in addiction treatment, they do not understand that how to motivate this individual to come into the treatment program. Large number of family members have no clue, no idea that my son or my daughter or my family member have started using drug. It could be illegal drug, it could be legal drug, it could be pharmaceutical drug, it could be, when I say legal drug means alcohol and tobacco are also part of the legal drug. So उनको पता नहीं है कि इसका इलाज possible है या किसके पास इलाज करवाना जाए. So they generally hide it. So the moment someone is identified using drug, that is the best time to take this individual to a drug treatment center. When someone is going to drug treatment center, it does not mean that the person will be admitted for 6 months, 3 months, 2 months. No. The treatment could be on OPD basis, outpatient basis, or if the severity is very high, then it could be on a indoor basis. And there is a third approach also. तीसरा तरीका भी है कि अगर उसने 3-4 बार अपना इलाज करवाया है, treatment has failed, then it could be on a we call it a oral substitution therapy or maintenance program, that this individual for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, as long as the person is comfortable, can use a particular drug which is generally not available on over the counter. And in the National AIDS Control Program and in some states, the state government have started providing this type of drug. That's called OST, and that is for long-term management program. So there are 3 types of treatment. One could be on OPD basis. In OPD basis, a counselor can provide counseling services, various other therapies, supported by some medicine. In indoor, both will be there. There will be a withdrawal management and there will be counseling and various other therapies. And the third is OST, which I have just shared. मैंने just आपके साथ share किया था. Now, I think I have few more minutes, so let me talk about what is happening right now. सब लोग रियलिटी टीवी आजकल देख रहे हैं. Channels like Republic Channel, Aaj Tak, various channels. मैं channels का नाम नहीं लेना चाहता हूँ. I don't want to glorify them because they are doing third class job. They are creating such a situation जहाँ पे एक drug user या उसकी family एक अपने बच्चे को treatment के लिए नहीं ले जाना चाहता है. So please, when you are organizing any program, ensure 3 things. Don't criminalize drug use. Drug use, large number of children are using drug. The latest survey of Government of India very clearly says around 5 crore people are using drug as on date. 5 crore लोग आज के तारीख में नशा ले रहे हैं. अगर वो आज के तारीख में 5 करोड़ लोग नशा ले रहे हैं, can we keep all of them inside jail? No, we cannot, and we must not. We should not. Then what is the approach? The approach is early intervention, early treatment, and sustained recovery. But उसके लिए वो उस व्यक्ति को प्रोग्राम में आना है. अगर प्रोग्राम में वो आना चाहता है and there is a threat that this particular individual will be arrested, will be sent to jail, no one will be comfortable going to any treatment program. So please ensure that we are not criminalizing drug use. We are not stigmatizing drug user. Because the moment you stigmatize, there is an inbuilt discrimination. उसके साथ फैमिली वाले बैठना नहीं पसंद करेंगे कि हो सकता है मैं भी अरेस्ट हो जाऊं, उसका दोस्त उसके साथ नहीं बैठेगा, उसकी परेशानियां बढ़ जाएंगी. In fact, today's Times, Hindustan Times, I think that's on front page also, and third or fourth page, there is an incident of near Kashmiri Gate. एक कश्मीरी गेट के आसपास का एक घटना है. एक मोटर बाइक सवार ने आके चेन स्नैचिंग किया, and दो husband and wife, they were sitting, and this lady is a health worker in a particular hospital near New Delhi railway station. उसको उन्होंने चेन खींचा, उसका बैग खींचा और वो गिर गई. I think she broke her leg. So and why it is happening? Because most of these people are desperate to get the drug. They don't want to go for the treatment. Now what is happening? The crime will be more and more. Crime बढ़ता जाएगा. जब crime एक बार बढ़ जाएगा, तो उसको control करना मुश्किल है. So those who are not using drug are also victim of the drug use by someone else. When you know, if you have opportunity, come and visit our children's center. The children will tell you, children will inform you, and I'm sure Kalyani ji will also inform you. You know the type of children those who come to us. They are 7 year, 8 year, 9 years, 10 years. They are injecting drug. They are also HIV positive. They are Hep C positive. They have so many issues, especially girls. Most of the girls are also HIV positive, or TB patient, or they are having other comorbidities. So what we need to do is decriminalize drug use. That's very important. Then only people will come forward for the treatment. Destigmatize, encourage them to come for the treatment and help them to get treated. And the third is ensure that they are integrated back in the society, in the family, in the neighborhood. Otherwise, can we keep 5 crore people outside society? Next to impossible. 5 crore तो कुछ देशों की मतलब यूरोपियन कंट्रीज की आबादी है. So we have to be very mindful what we say, how we say, and how we encourage large number of children, those who are not using drug, must be away from the drug. Simple life skill methods. Number 2, those who have started using or experimenting drug, they must ensure we must ensure that they are brought into the program and they are treated. Our Chandigarh program is a global best practice right now. Around 3,000 people, children, those who were using drug or they were about to use drug, all of them are out from drug, and it has been established by the crime record of Chandigarh police that जिन इलाकों में ये intervention हुआ है, वहाँ पे crime, जो petty crime था, वो घट गया. Third is early treatment and early intervention. So I'll stop here, and I'm sure there will be a lot of questions. So I'll address during the question answer session. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I think it was a really a very, very descriptive session which you had, sir. I think you have laid a very good foundation, a very good base, sir. And I think the participants, the feedback, the questions in the chat box, I think it is it shows that I think, sir, you have given a very brief overview about that. So we thank you once again, sir. So there are a lot of questions that have come from the participants as well. So one question, sir, will legalization of drugs cause a corruption-less society? Is one of the questions, sir.
Okay. This is a very good question, and I'm very happy that people have understood what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying legalization. What I'm trying to say is decriminalization. And there are countries on earth, a country called Netherlands or Holland, country called Portugal. They have decriminalized it. They have not legalized it. When you say legalize means anyone can buy, anyone can sell. When we say decriminalize means the small quantity, if they are caught with a drug, they are not sent to jail. They are sent for the treatment program. They are sent to a counselor. They are sent to a doctor. They are not sent to jail. So that is called decriminalization. So I'm not advocating legalization. I'm advocating decriminalization. So these are two different terms, and we must be very clear. I'm not advocating at all for a legalization of heroin or substance like cocaine or marijuana. I'm saying it should be decriminalized. The user should not be sent to jail.
Fine. Thank you so much, sir. So, second question would be, sir, what role can the media play in sensitizing the youth about the harmful effects of drug use, sir?
Unfortunately, don't expect anything from media and current media, because they have to sell. And they see, media has gone to, I don't want to use those third-class terms, but you understand my agony that what they are right now doing is, media must not glamorize drug use. That's one. See what is happening when you taking the name of top, and you might have seen a pattern also. आपने pattern भी देखा होगा. सिर्फ female film actresses को उन्होंने address किया है. एक male film actor को या star को उन्होंने address नहीं किया. Why? वो अंदर से ना कुछ वो दिखाना चाहते हैं. If Deepika is there, then a lot of viewers will come. When Ria is there, when I don't know, I don't remember names. So, but how many male? Not a single male. So you understand, there's a pattern. और वो pattern को वो follow कर रहे हैं. So the media, if they want to really say, they must help parents to understand and identify that my son is not right now normal. There's something abnormal. What are those abnormal? We can always find out from the web, download it, and ensure. Number two, building a relationship between family members and the child, those who have started experimenting drug. Number three, they should be harsh towards the enforcement agencies. Not see right now. Tell me very honestly, if the drug is available at the street level, on the street, who is to be blamed? That small child, 8 years, 9 years, or the local police authority or enforcement agency? How could people did not know that in Mumbai drug was so much prevalent and available? ये तो it's like ostrich. हमने अपना सर डाल दिया जमीन में and we are thinking that there is no problem. The problem was there. So the media has to address, please make their life little challenging and difficult so they start working. Most of the Indian borders on the western front also and eastern front also, we get drug from there. So it is the international borders needs to be more guarded. Naxalites have been producing, cultivating opium in Jharkhand, in part of Odisha, in part of West Bengal. I was told that now it has come down. So enforcement agencies should be targeted by the media, but not the user. So the media should decriminalize, focus on decriminalization, less stigmatization, and providing scientific information so the people can be brought into the treatment program or intervention program, and provide if possible, some of the linkage where one can go for the treatment or one can go for counseling sessions. And when I say media,
Thank you, sir.
Both, the print media also, electronic media and social media also.
Sure, sir. So I think this is a part of this question. I think it is a continuation of that. I think a number of states in India are producers of cannabis, cultivation. So what normally the police does is cut away all the crops. So how? So a lot of people are dependent on this money. So I think there is a lot of talk about. There is a lot of talk about on how we talk about hemp cultivation, sir, on how that can, because a lot of countries are using marijuana for hemp cultivation, for creating bags, for creating multiple sources of income. So how can we create a livelihood for them, sir?
It's a very challenging question, but I'm not for legalizing marijuana cultivation. And there are 2 states where 3-4 states, and in fact I don't know whether this question has come from Tripura, because Tripura has been using cultivation of marijuana and providing livelihood. See, providing livelihood through marijuana cultivation is not a good idea. It's a good idea might be for USA. In some of the states they have started making money, and I will not encourage legalization of cultivation of marijuana at this stage. Who knows tomorrow what the our member of parliament's lawmakers will decide. But at this stage, I'm not for legalizing, but certainly I'm all for decriminalizing, and crop substitution programs are successful globally, and if in some area, if there are X number of people, those who are dependent on marijuana cultivation or marijuana plant cultivation, they should be provided some financial assistance, some technical know-how to cultivate equally paying crop, and they shift from marijuana cultivation to non-marijuana cultivation.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Sir, actually, the questions, there are a number of questions that our participants are asking. One more question is, how can an individual recognize drug abuse behavior, sir?
Okay, see there is बहुत अच्छा सवाल है आपका, कैसे पहचाने एक ड्रग यूजर को? There are few things, but again, I'm talking more focusing on young and children, not adult. People, for adult, you have, over a period of time, people come to know that this person is a drug user. Let me focus on children first. मैं बच्चों पे पहले focus करता हूँ. The child will start ignoring family get-together. Will avoid taking lunch, dinner together with the family. Will spend more time in toilet. Now, जब मैं ये कह रहा हूँ, it doesn't mean that the child is drug user. It can happen otherwise also. There might be other issues due to which this might be. These are the signs and symptoms. A child will वो झूठ बोलना शुरू करेगा. वो कुछ ऐसा करेगा which was not normal 6 months back or 3 months back or 5 months back. So if these are the early warning signs, if there are early warning signs, the family members and teachers should spend some extra time to identify what is the problem with this child. And if they identify that this child has substance use problem, और ये कोई मुश्किल काम नहीं है, उसके अगर आप school bag को आप देखेंगे, you check their school bag, check their pockets, they will come to know very easily. New pattern of friendship, नए friends आने लग जाएंगे, पुराने friends बाहर हो जाते हैं. And so the parents must know who are friends of my children. Generally, we don't know. So these are the things which people, these are the early signs and symptoms people should understand. First day, first or second day or 10 days, if someone is using drug, will be not drug dependent or drug addict. These are the signs and symptoms. The family members should be very vigilant, and especially if they are between 12 to 14 and 15, they should be very vigilant. Number one, they must ensure that there should be at least one meal together with the entire family. Number two, they should know friends of children. Number three, they should be in touch with the class teacher that my child is doing well, or उसमें कोई बदलाव तो नहीं आया. If there is no change, one should be happy and comfortable.
I think so. I think this question has also answered with how colleges, because a lot of colleges are just part of this webinar. So I think that is also answered on how colleges. I think, sir. Would you want to elaborate anything on the college level, sir?
Unfortunately, the information what we are getting from different parts of the country, the lot of in colleges, weed use is very normal, very common, and generally teachers and the faculty members ignore it. कुछ तो effort करने की जरूरत है schools, colleges and universities को. I'm not saying that they have to organize a program on drug, but they can always organize positive living, healthy lifestyle, and I'm sure Kalyani ji will share on this. This is very important for college to develop an environment or create an enabling environment where if someone is using drug can access information or access services from the school, college or university authorities. It's very important to encourage people to come into the program rather than discourage. And from my experience, 99.9% schools will always say, हमारे यहाँ कोई problem नहीं है, आपको हमारे यहाँ program करने की जरूरत नहीं है. They should change their approach and attitude, because we are losing young, bright, family members, students. So we should be we should be encouraging students to organize program. Lot of the schools and colleges will have NSS. It should be part of NSS, otherwise also program healthy lifestyle. I'm not saying that in that healthy lifestyle there should not be anything on substance use. There should be some information on substance use. And our new module which we have developed for Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, I'm sure within a month or so, that will be available for all the schools and colleges. One can use that also, and a lot of good materials have been provided in that module.
Oh, fine. So one last question, sir, because a lot of grassroots level NGOs are joined with us who have rehab centers. So this is one last question, sir. How can we prevent the sale of drugs outside the premises of rehab centers?
Okay. It means that rehab center has problem. That rehab center is not following good quality program. I'll encourage all these participants to go on SPYM India YouTube site. There are I think 8 or 9 videos on therapeutic community approach. They should follow that approach and they should contact SPYM, and we are always available to people, those who seek any help and support from us. We will provide them further information. Only my request is improve your program. Drug sellers will be not coming to that particular nearby that particular rehab centers. Rehab centers के पास क्यों आ रहे लोग? इसलिए आ रहे हैं कि उसके प्रोग्राम में, उस सेंटर के प्रोग्राम में वो स्ट्रेंथ नहीं है जो अंदर जो इनमेट्स हैं वो अपने आप को ड्रग से दूर रखें. जब ड्रग यूज हो रहा है within the rehab centers, then only the drug sellers are coming near that center. So it is, मैं उन सेंटर्स के खिलाफ कुछ नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. मैं ये कह रहा हूँ उनको अपने प्रोग्राम को स्ट्रेंथन करने की जरूरत है, प्रोग्राम को बेहतर करने की जरूरत है. जब वो प्रोग्राम बेहतर करेंगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली violence within the center will go down, the quality input will be there, and all these things are possible. We have already provided free videos on this, and if they want, they can contact us.
So thank you so much, sir. I think the questions are there a lot. I think we will share with you the questions, other questions as well, sir. And we thank you.
I might not be able to, because I will be. I have another. That's not webinar. That's a teaching session. So till 12:30, I will be available. After that, I'm sure Kalyani ji will help you.
Sure. So if there are any questions, we will surely forward it to you. Okay. And once again, we on behalf of VYK, so we thank you, sir, for sharing such information with, I think, all the participants, and it has really been very enriching, and I think it has been a real eye opener for a lot of participants and a lot of teachers, a lot of grassroots level NGOs. And I would request all our participants, please be connected with SPYM and VYK for issues related to drug abuse. And I think SPYM would be very happy to get in touch with all of you. And I think we all are working on this common issue to say no to drugs and for prevention of drug abuse, sir. So once again, sir, on the bottom of our heart, sir, we thank you.
Thanks
sir.
for the opportunity.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So please be with us, sir, till 12:30. I think you are there till 12:30 now.
Sure.
Taking forward this session, I would now like to introduce Mrs. Kalyani to give you. We would also be sharing a small introduction about Mrs. Kalyani as well. So Ms. Kalyani is a consultant for SPYM in Action India. She is a trained social worker from the Delhi School of Social Work, University of Delhi. And Ms. Kalyani has an experience of 2 decades of developing life skill modules for various NGOs and international organizations. She has primarily worked with adolescents, focusing upon their social needs and issues. So before we start your session, just a few information I just want to share with the participants. We are sharing a Google feedback link in the chat box, and we are also sharing for the certificates. I think because we will be giving certificates to the participants, so we'll be also sharing the Google link for the e-certificates. So all the participants who are there may kindly give their feedback through the e-form and may also register for the e-certificate. So before ma'am's session starts, also we would look forward to many questions and from participants. Like I said, it is going to be interactive session, and we look forward to many questions, ma'am. So, ma'am, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Rajat ji, and thank you so much, Vishwa Yuva Kendra, for having me here. Rajesh ji has spoken elaborately on an overview. He's given a very good overview about the drug situation. सबका स्वागत है हिंदी बोलने वाले हमारे जो साथी हैं. राजेश जी ने एक बहुत अच्छा इंट्रोडक्शन दिया इस पूरे मुद्दे को, इस पूरे प्रॉब्लम को देखते हुए. मैं जो आपके साथ शेयर करूंगी वो है कम्युनिटी इंटरवेंशन क्या हम लोग कर रहे हैं. आई शैल बी शेयरिंग कम्युनिटी इंटरवेंशन विच वी आर डूइंग इन दिल्ली इन about 5 communities in the urban slums of Delhi. So I just want to speak a little bit about how this program came about. मैं थोड़ा सा बोलना चाहूँगी कि इस प्रोग्राम की शुरुआत कहाँ से हुई. I am part of 2 organizations. One is SPYM and one is another grassroots organization called Action India. मैं 2 संस्थाओं के साथ जुड़ी हुई हूँ. Action India जो एक महिला संस्था है. They work primarily with women, Action India people, and they've been working for about 4 decades now. And they run a program with women which is focused on domestic violence and redressal of problems. महिला हिंसा के साथ एक्शन इंडिया काम करती रही है और हिंसा को किस तरह से महिलाओं की जिंदगी से हटाया जाए और किस तरह से प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व किया जाए. One of the problems which we saw since I have been part of both organizations, more so of Action India, is that one of the reasons is substance abuse, especially alcoholism. शराब एक बहुत बड़ा कारण है डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस का, घरेलू हिंसा का. बट एक्शन इंडिया डिड नॉट हैव द एक्सपर्टीज टू एड्रेस दिस प्रॉब्लम. ज़्यादातर क्या होता था कि एक्शन इंडिया में ये कहा जाता था कि इस प्रॉब्लम को हम जानते हैं, एवरी सेकेंड जो हमारे पास केस आता है वो अल्कोहलिज्म की वजह से, बट वी डोंट नो हाउ टू. हम लोगों को नहीं मालूम कि किस तरह से इस मुद्दे को एड्रेस किया जाए या इसको हटाने के लिए या इस प्रॉब्लम को खत्म करने के लिए हम क्या कर सकते हैं. सो दैट इज वेयर द होल द थॉट प्रोसेस स्टार्टेड. एंड लेकिन हमारे पास एक्सपर्टीज नहीं थी. आई एम स्टिल टॉकिंग अबाउट द टाइम व्हेन आई वाज स्टिल देयर एंड आई नॉट इन एसपीवाईएम. धीरे धीरे एसपीवाईएम के साथ जब मैं जुड़ी तो मुझे समझ आया कि इस प्रॉब्लम को कैसे एड्रेस कर सकते हैं. व्हेन आई गॉट एसोसिएटेड विद एसपीवाईएम, आई स्टार्टेड अंडरस्टैंडिंग हाउ आई कुड एड्रेस दिस प्रॉब्लम ऑफ substance abuse at the community level, especially the domestic violence happening at the grassroots. So that is how this program came about. This is a collaborative project that I'll be discussing, and there are several, I would say not several, but 2 or 3 components of this program. इसके 2 या 3 components हैं जिससे हम community level intervention की बात कर रहे हैं. एक है महिलाओं के साथ में, obviously because they are running this program called महिला पंचायत. एक्शन इंडिया महिला पंचायत रन करती है जहाँ पे डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस के केसेस आते हैं. एंड नाउ वी आर प्रिपेयरिंग द वुमेन टू एक्चुअली look into their homes and make them violence free. And one of the things is how to motivate these women so that they can link the users with the treatment center. And जब treatment हो जाए तो वो किस तरह से एक positive environment create करे ताकि relapse को हम minimize कर सकें. What I was saying is, one of the components of this program is to motivate women to actually identify the users within their family. It could be husbands, it could be, their own sons, others, and how to link them with the treatment center. And the second role of the women would be to create a positive environment so that when people come back from treatment, they do not relapse. So this is one intervention at the level of the women in the communities. I will not really be talking much about it. लेकिन जो दूसरा component है वो है young लोगों के साथ में. मैं इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा आपके साथ program share करूँगी. I'd like to talk more about what we are doing with young people and children. So through a very small slide show, I'd like to talk about this. So I hope all of you can see the slides.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So at the community level with the young people and children, we are using this program called community-led or community-based peer-led intervention for prevention. Like Rajesh ji said, early prevention. This is an early prevention program which we have launched, and we've been using this concept for a very long time now in different communities. And the success of it is what we are going to share, and how things have been successful and what all we are doing in this. कम्युनिटी लेवल में हम लोगों ने एक प्रोग्राम शुरू किया है जिसको हम कहते हैं कम्युनिटी लेड पीयर लेड इंटरवेंशन, जिसके अंदर हम पीयर एजुकेटर्स द्वारा प्रोग्राम को चलाते हैं. और ये पीयर एजुकेटर्स कौन है, किस तरह से प्रोग्राम चलाया जाता है, इसके बारे में मैं स्लाइड्स आपके साथ शेयर करूंगी. माफ़ी चाहूंगी, मेरे पास स्लाइड्स हिंदी में नहीं है, इंग्लिश में है, बट मैं कोशिश करूंगी कि मैं स्लाइड्स को हिंदी में भी आपके साथ में शेयर कर सकूं. Sir was talking about this book, and which is that magnitude of substance abuse in India. This is the second book he was talking about. We have two books or research, because any program has to be, the foundation of any program is based on certain research. So if we actually look at these two research books, you will find that the magnitude of the problem has been discussed. अगर आप ये किताबों को देखेंगे, खासकर द लेटेस्ट जो मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ सब्सटेंस अब्यूज इन इंडिया है 2019 का पब्लिकेशन, एंड दीज आर वेरी क्रेडिबल बुक्स. They have been done by very credible organizations, so they carry a lot of weight. So यहाँ से हमें पता लगता है कि किस तरह से कितने लोग ग्रसित हैं. This actually tells us how many people are actually using, what is the age group, what kind of substances are being used. All these things are being mentioned in these books. So it's very useful for people to actually go through these and at least go through the executive summary to know what is the situation of drug use in India as such. Okay, हमारा जो program है peer led intervention, ये क्यों करते हैं? Why are we actually doing this program? The first is to keep the children and adolescents away from drugs. And how do we do this? हम लोग उनको life skills program के through करवाते हैं. Then you would have known that on the 26th of June, which is the International Day Against Drug Use and Illicit Trafficking, this year, Government of India has launched the Nasha Mukt Bharat campaign in about 272 vulnerable districts. So I think it's high time that we also join in the campaign and participated and to actually give our contribution to this campaign. आपको मालूम होगा कि इस साल 26 जून को भारत सरकार ने नशा मुक्त भारत अभियान का एक आह्वान दिया है. तो मुझे लगता है कि ये बहुत अच्छा समय है ड्रग्स के बारे में बात करना और इसके बारे में एक चेतना, एक अवेयरनेस जगाना. हम कैसे कर सकते हैं, हम कैसे करते हैं कम्युनिटी लेवल पे? How do we actually go about doing this program at the community level? We create a safe space within the community, which we call child-friendly mohalla. Mohalla in Hindi is, it could be a space, which is child-friendly, and we actually implement this program. What is the program I'll just be discussing? मोहल्ला आप जानते हैं, कुछ group of घर को हम एक मोहल्ला बोलते हैं. तो we create a safe space within the community where the children can come in every day, or at least on some days, say about 3 or 4 times a week, and they discuss a lot of things, they learn things, they can share things. That is the kind of space we want to create within the community. इस सेफ स्पेस के अंदर बच्चे आते हैं, अपनी चीज़ों को शेयर करते हैं, इंफॉर्मेशन सीखते हैं, और all these will contribute to taking proper decisions, staying away, also recognizing what are the risky situations around them in their lives, how to handle these kind of situations. So हम लोग शुरू कैसे करते हैं? We start off by building a rapport with them. We first don't go with any agenda, but we just start playing with the children and adolescents. That's the easiest way to enter any community. And we do this for about 2 to 3 weeks. We have about, we have our own program media. हमारे पास अपने कुछ तरीके हैं. We have games, we have sports for development, we do art and craft classes. So these are very easy, and we then form a rapport with the children, because to address this, we cannot really address the issue of drug use, in a very upfront way. हम एकदम directly बच्चों के साथ नहीं बात करते, but we try कि हम उनके साथ एक rapport बनाएं, and then उसके साथ धीरे धीरे बाद में हम इनके साथ बात शुरू करते हैं. Then we do some kind of a mapping exercise within the community to know कहाँ पे drugs मिल रहे हैं बच्चों को. We also locate, हम hotspots को देखते हैं, दूसरे लोगों से बात करते हैं वहाँ पे, जैसे पान वाला हो गया, shopkeepers, all these, these are the people who can give us interview within or give us information as to if the drugs are available, if there are children who are using drugs in a particular place, all those, we contact other NGOs, the doctors, teachers, all these people are key informants whom we can talk to and get information. हम लोग कभी भी किसी मोहल्ले में जाते हैं, किसी बस्ती में जाते हैं, ऐसे लोगों से हम बातचीत करते हैं ताकि हमें जानकारी मिले कि ये ड्रग की अवेलेबिलिटी कहाँ है, कहाँ बच्चे ड्रग्स लेते हुए दिखाई देते हैं ग्रुप्स में, झुंड्स में. तो ये सारी जगह, जैसे टीचर्स हो गए, डॉक्टर्स हैं, क्योंकि डॉक्टर अगर कोई बीमार पड़ता है तो डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं. शॉपकीपर्स जो खास करके ये गुटखा बीड़ी वगैरह बेचते हैं, ट्यूशन कोचिंग क्लासेस वगैरह, ये सारी जगह हैं जहाँ बच्चे बहुत फ्रीक्वेंटली जाते हैं. तो ये हमारे को समझ आ जाता है कि यहाँ पे हमें इंफॉर्मेशन मिल सकती है. उसके बाद हम लोग पीयर एजुकेटर्स का सिलेक्शन करते हैं. पीयर्स कौन होते हैं? जो सिमिलर एज ग्रुप के होते हैं या एबिलिटी के होते हैं, लेकिन उनकी जानकारी थोड़ी सी ज़्यादा होती है. तो इनकी जानकारी बढ़ाने का जिम्मा NGOs का है. Once we select the peer educators, it is for us to raise the capacities so that they become leaders, and then they can interact with other students who are a little younger in age, and then they can give information, help them to share, give them skills. So when we select some peer educators, we have few criteria, like they could be 15 or 8 years and above, 15 साल से ऊपर हो, males and females, preferably to have peer educators of both genders, because certain times the girls may not come and come to the center where boys are there. कुछ communities हो सकती हैं जहाँ पे बहुत restrictions हैं gender को लेकर के, वो कहते हैं कि लड़कियाँ सिर्फ लड़कियों के ग्रुप में हैं. So it's always preferable to have peer educators from both the genders. These peer educators are little more observant, उनके communication skills अच्छे हैं, they take initiative, they are responsible, and we prefer that they go to school, so they are educated, they are friendly, and they grasp things. So ये हम कुछ criteria देखते हैं और अपने peer educators को हम select करते हैं. उसके बाद जब हम peer educators को select करते हैं तो हम उसके बाद बहुत ही पार्टिसिपेटरी, इंटरेस्टिंग, इनोवेटिव तरीके, बहुत ही नए तरीकों से उनको हम पूरी जानकारी देते हैं. हम सिर्फ ड्रग्स के बारे में नहीं बोलते हैं, बिकॉज ड्रग्स के बारे में सीधा बोलना बहुत मुश्किल होता है. इट्स अ वेरी सेंसिटिव टॉपिक, एंड समटाइम्स चिल्ड्रन एंड द कम्युनिटी पीपल कैन ऑल्सो ऑब्जेक्ट. सो वी actually start with topics which are concerned with adolescents and children, their growing up, their issues, their rights, things like how to form healthy relationships, किस तरह से हम सकारात्मक रिश्ते बनाएं, how to improve our communication skills, what is good, what is bad for us, value clarification, how to deal with emotions, हम अपने emotions को किस तरह समझें. These are certain very non-threatening yet important issues for adolescents when they are growing up. Body knowledge, sexuality issues. We start with these kind of things, and then we build in the drug education part, because it's always very threatening for the parents as well as students to start talking about it. It's very sensitive as well. So हम लोग indirect तरीके से एक अच्छा माहौल बना के we form a rapport, and then we start through these sessions, life skills sessions, which are held, say, at least 3 to 4 times a week. Sometimes it can also be for 5 to 6 times a week. It depends on the agency, uski kitni strength hai, how they want to do the program. And we use very innovative program media, like I've listed here. Stories, case studies, role plays, films. We have made few films within SPYM also. Games, art and craft, real comics. Real comics are actually a very it's a very nice method. जहाँ पे हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि जो हमारे rehab centers में बच्चे हैं, the children who are there in our rehab centers, we pick up their stories, ask them to narrate their stories, and we make comic strips out of their stories so that then it can be used as training or teaching material. Because everyone is very much interested to read comic strips rather than very heavy books. So these, the interest value is there, novelty value है, नया है, सब लोग comics पसंद करते हैं, and at the same time it also gives a message. Why did they come to the rehab center? What were the reasons? So that could also be a teaching material for us. So we have developed many comics, real comics on different issues. Things like why a person started stealing because of drug habit, or maybe even murdered somebody. We have various stories, and then there are talking points. हम लोग उसके साथ सवाल पूछते हैं, and we educate the children. Then we have developed floor games. Floor games are actually bigger forms of certain very popular games, which can be spread on the floor, and we incorporate drug messages. For example, the traditional or a classic snakes and ladder games, or ludo, or stapu. इस तरह के जो गेम्स होते हैं ट्रेडिशनली घरों में खेले जाते हैं, उसको हम लोगों ने बड़े साइज में इस फ्लोर पे हम बिछा करके अपने ड्रग रिलेटेड मैसेजेस उसी के अंदर डाल करके हम यूज करते हैं. देन वी हैव थिएटर, we take out rallies. So these are some of the very innovative program media which we use, and people really get attracted. Children are very interested. They in fact look forward कि वो लोग किस तरह से रोज आएं और हमारे प्रोग्राम में हिस्सा लें. बेसिक आइडिया यही है कि बच्चे जब अपना टाइम ना वेस्ट करते हुए इधर उधर एक ऐसी सुरक्षित जगह पे आ पाएं जहाँ पे वो चीजें तो सीखें, इंफॉर्मेशन तो लें, उसके साथ साथ स्किल्स सीखें, डिसीजन मेकिंग सीखें, अपनी बातों को शेयर करना सीखें, और अगर कोई डेंजर या रिस्की सिचुएशन उनके सामने आ रही है, वो हमारे साथ हमारे एरिया में जो हमारे कोऑर्डिनेटर्स हैं, प्रोग्राम कोऑर्डिनेटर्स हैं, पीयर एजुकेटर्स हैं, उनके साथ भी शेयर कर सकें. द आइडिया इज टू एस्टैब्लिश अ सेफ जोन, सेफ प्लेस फॉर द चिल्ड्रन वेयर दे कैन कम एवरी डे, स्पेंड देयर टाइम, नॉट रियली लॉइटर अराउंड हियर एंड देयर इन द कम्युनिटी वेयर दे माइट गेट एक्सपोज टू चिल्ड्रन or practicing desirable behavior, undesirable behavior. And here they not only get information, they are, they come in contact with peer educators and our coordinators. They can share their problems, if something happening in the home or anything else which is bothering them at school. They learn to communicate, they learn to take proper decisions, they learn to say no in certain risky situations. So basically providing that kind of an environment for the children, and then also getting information on how to stay away from drugs. So it's an overall package. It is not just about drug use. It's about what is happening in their lives every day, at their phase in life where they are adolescents and they're exposed to many, many vulnerable situations. And we normally, to make it interesting, we just don't have only life skill sessions. We have very many things. हम art therapy करते हैं, dance करते हैं, yoga करते हैं, literacy program, because a lot of them have dropped out or they need some remedial, or coaching facility also, so that they are able to pursue education. Because one of the main aims or one of the outcomes would also be that they remain in school. अगर जब drop out होते हैं तो उनके लिए और खतरे बढ़ जाते हैं. So we try to make sure that the dropout rate is minimized and the children actually stay in schools. Then we have something called sports for development. We have certain games wherein we've also incorporated certain messages. It could be on health, it could be hygiene, it could be on relationships. So these are certain games, so we call them sports for development. So the development element has come. And then we have a library, which is a supportive program for literacy, because a lot of children do not or may not go to schools due to whatever reasons even now. So especially in the rehab centers, we have a supportive program, because literacy program has to be supported with the library program. Otherwise they forget. बच्चे भूल जाते हैं लिटरेसी प्रोग्राम के साथ अगर लाइब्रेरी ना हो, क्योंकि वो स्किल प्रैक्टिस करते करते ही आता है. So this is basically what a peer-led intervention is all about. I'd like to stop here and there will be people who are actually implementing this after me. They will be sharing their examples. In Delhi, we are working in about 5-6 sites with Action India, because Action India is anyway running a youth program, and SPYM is giving training inputs, and we are giving treatment support to them, and I'm actually training them for life skills. And they have weekly program, or fortnightly program where they interact with students. And we have actually made a module wherein there are about 7 to 8 themes, and each theme has about 3 to 4 activities, and they are implemented at field level. They learn from me, I teach them, and then they again go to this this field, and they implement with the students there or the children there.
और मृदुला जी आप बोल सकते हैं मैम।
मैं एज ए एरिया कोऑर्डिनेटर सीमापुरी इलाके में काम करती हूँ, और सीमापुरी का जो इलाका है वो खास तौर पे यूपी और दिल्ली के बीच का जो बॉर्डर है उस बॉर्डर पर बसा हुआ है। और यहाँ पर मुझे लगता है कि जिस नशे की हम बात कर रहे हैं वो नशा बहुत ज्यादा उस नशे का मतलब आवागमन मतलब बहुत आसानी से यूपी से दिल्ली और दिल्ली से यूपी में बहुत आसानी से आना जाना होता है यहाँ पे। और अगर मैं अपने इलाके की बात करूं तो यहाँ पे जैसे राजेश जी ने शुरू में कहा था कि जो पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट है, हम कहते हैं कि पुलिस हमारी सुरक्षा के लिए है और पुलिस को इन सब चीजों पर काम करना चाहिए और इन सब चीजों को हटाने के लिए वो बाध्य है, कानून जो व्यवस्था है। लेकिन यहाँ पे हम अपने इलाके में देखते हैं कि हमारे इलाके में बहुत सारा जो नशा है वो बिकता है और खुले तौर पे नशा हमारे इलाके में बहुत आसानी से जगह जगह गलियों में घरों में बिकता नजर आता है हमें। और यहाँ पे पुलिस की जो भूमिका है वो हम देखते हैं कि पुलिस को बहुत सारी चीजें पता होने के बावजूद भी वो उस पर किसी तरह का कोई कानूनी कार्रवाई नहीं करती, बल्कि उनको सपोर्ट करती है। जब भी कभी इलाके में छापा पड़ता है तो जो लोग नशे का व्यापार करते हैं उनको पहले से ही ये सारी चीजें पता हो जाती हैं और वो अपना जो नशा बेचने का कारोबार है वो उसको इधर उधर कर देते हैं। तो जो एक बंद होने की हम सोचते हैं कि भाई पुलिस हमारी हेल्प करेगी और पुलिस हमारी मदद करेगी, तो वो कहीं तक भी हमें दिखाई नहीं देता है। तो ये बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम है। और हमारे इलाके में बहुत छोटे बच्चे 7-8 साल तक के जो बच्चे हैं वो बहुत मतलब नशे की तरफ बहुत जाते हैं, जैसे फ्लूट सूंघना, गुटखा, बीड़ी, तंबाकू, भांग खाना, ये बहुत सारे ऐसे जो नशे हैं जो हमारी युवा पीढ़ी ले रही है। और अभी हम लोगों ने खास तौर पे अभी हम सीमापुरी में मैं जिस प्रोजेक्ट में काम करती हूँ SRHR प्रोजेक्ट में, जो खास तौर पे यूथ के साथ हम काफी काम कर रहे हैं, तो हमें बहुत ज्यादा यूथ में ये नशा देखने को मिल रहा है कि यूथ नशे की तरफ बहुत ज्यादा है। जैसे कल्याणी दीदी ने कहा कि बच्चे पढ़ाई की तरफ ना जाकर वो ड्रॉप आउट भी बहुत हो रहे हैं। और हमने जैसे पीयर एजुकेटर बनाए हैं, तो अलग अलग ग्रुप में हमारे 10 से 15 जो पीयर एजुकेटर हैं उनके साथ हम लोग बातचीत कर रहे हैं, परिवार के साथ बातचीत कर रहे हैं, कैसे हम लोग उनको एक अच्छा माहौल दें जहाँ पे वो अपनी बात हमारे साथ आके शेयर करें और बातचीत करें। तो हमने उनके साथ बातचीत करने की कोशिश की है। तो बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें मुझे लगता है कि नशे के बारे में हमसे ज्यादा बच्चों को बहुत ज्यादा मालूम है कि नशे किस तरह के जो नशे हैं। बहुत सारी चीजें मुझे भी नहीं मालूम थी कि नशे के जो प्रकार होते हैं वो मुझसे ज्यादा बच्चों को पता है कि हमारे इलाके में कितनी तरह के जो नशे हैं और वो कहाँ मिलते हैं और कैसे वो नशा उपलब्ध हो सकता है। बच्चों को वो भी पता है कि मुझ तक नशा कैसे आएगा। तो इस तरह की जो जानकारी है वो शायद बड़े लोगों को कम होगी, लेकिन बच्चों को बहुत ज्यादा होगी। हम सोचते हैं कि बच्चों को बहुत सारी जानकारियां नहीं होंगी या ये बच्चे हैं, लेकिन बच्चों को बहुत ज्यादा जो जानकारी है वो अपने इलाके में बहुत आसानी से उनको है। तो अभी हम लोगों ने जो पीयर एजुकेटर बनाए हैं, जिन बच्चों के साथ हम काम कर रहे हैं, उन बच्चों के साथ हमें काम करते हुए 2 महीने का टाइम हो गया है और उनके साथ 2 से 3 सेशन हमारे हो गए हैं। और इस बीच हमने बच्चों के साथ जो बातचीत की है, उनकी जो माएँ हैं, उनके साथ भी हमने बातचीत की है। जैसे कि डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस जो हम बात कर रहे हैं कि महिलाओं के साथ काफ़ी शराब जो है वो एक बहुत मतलब बड़ी समस्या है हमारे इलाके में। कि शराब की वजह से, नशे की वजह से बहुत सारी महिलाएँ, बहुत सारे बच्चे अपने घरों में बहुत ज़्यादा परेशान हैं। अगर पिता शराब पीकर घरों में आते हैं, मारपीट करते हैं, गाली-गलौज करते हैं, तो परिवार का जो माहौल है वो बहुत खराब होता है। इससे बच्चों की जो एजुकेशन है वो उस पर भी असर हो रहा है। उनकी मानसिक जो स्थिति है उस पर भी असर हो रहा है कि बच्चे मतलब अच्छा जो एनवायरनमेंट चाहते हैं, अच्छा जो माहौल चाहते हैं, वो कहीं उनको नहीं मिल रहा है। इसी वजह से बच्चे क्या कर रहे हैं कि घरों से दूर हो रहे हैं, घरों से बाहर जा रहे हैं। वो दोस्तों का सहारा लेते हैं, वो अदर ऐसी जगह पकड़ते हैं जहाँ पे वो अ, अकेले रहकर, कई बार बहुत सारे बच्चे हमें अकेले भी पार्कों में मिले हैं जो अकेले बैठे रहते हैं, या कुछ छोटे जो बच्चे हैं वो वहाँ नशा कर रहे हैं। अपने बड़ों को उन्होंने देखा है बीड़ी पीते हुए, तो वो उनके पास पैसा नहीं है, बीड़ी वो खरीद के नहीं पी सकते, लेकिन पार्कों में और जो सड़कों पर आधी बुझी, आधी जली जो बीड़ी वहाँ पड़ी रहती है, उसको कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि वो उस तरह का जो नशा है वो लेने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, और वो उसके फिर आदी बनते जा रहे हैं। तो इस तरह के जो जब पारिवारिक स्थितियां ऐसी होती हैं, तो इसका जो असर है वो बच्चों पर काफी पड़ रहा है। और मीटिंग के दौरान हमें बच्चों ने भी मतलब बताया कि जब हमने उनसे बात की कि भाई नशा जो नशा है, बच्चे क्यों नशा करते हैं, क्यों जाते हैं नशे की तरफ, तो बच्चों ने खुद ही बहुत सारी चीजें बताई कि जब परिवार उनको देखभाल नहीं करता, माता पिता उनकी बात नहीं सुनते हैं, उनको इमोशनली जो सपोर्ट चाहिए, उनको जो प्यार चाहिए, उनको जो देखभाल चाहिए, वो परिवार से कहीं ना कहीं उनको नहीं मिल रहा है, इसीलिए वो घर के बाहर है, इसीलिए वो अपने दोस्तों के साथ नशे की तरफ जा रहे हैं, या अगर वो दोस्तों के साथ नशा नहीं कर रहे तो कहीं अकेले भी जाके जिस भी तरह का उनको नशा मिलता है, अपने आप को सुकून देने के लिए, शांति देने के लिए वो नशे की तरफ बढ़ जाए। तो बहुत सारी चीजें बच्चों के साथ हमें उनकी पारिवारिक और उनकी जो बहुत सारी चीजें, व्यक्तिगत जो चीजें हैं, वो बच्चों ने हमारे साथ बांटी हैं। और यहाँ मैं अब देखती हूँ कि सेंटर में बच्चों की जो संख्या है वो बढ़ रही है हमारे सेंटर में, कि बच्चे एक तो उनको यहाँ पे एक अच्छा वातावरण मिल रहा है, एक अच्छा माहौल मिल रहा है जहाँ पे बच्चे अपनी जो मन की बात है वो यहाँ आके एक दूसरे के साथ बातचीत करते हैं, हमारे साथ बहुत सारी इमोशनली जो बातचीत है वो बांट पाते हैं, अपनी परेशानियां बांट पाते हैं, और उनको एक सही दिशा उनको मिल पाती है, मतलब उनको लगता है कि कोई हमारी समस्या को सुनने वाला है। तो बहुत सारी चीजें वो बच्चे यहाँ आके बांटते हैं, और अपने साथ अपने और जो दोस्त हैं उनको भी सेंटर तक लाने की वो कोशिश करते हैं, और बहुत सारे बच्चे वो यहाँ पर लेके आते हैं। इसी के साथ बच्चों से हमने जब व्यक्तिगत अगर मैं बात कहूँ कि इस काम को करने के दौरान हमारे सामने बहुत सारे ऐसे भी उदाहरण हमारे सामने आए हैं जब बच्चों ने कोशिश की है कि हम इस नशे को अपने से दूर करेंगे, हम उसमें इन्वॉल्व ना होके हम इसको कोशिश करेंगे कि हम खुद भी ये नशा ना लें, और दूसरों को भी मना करें कि उनके परिवार में जो उनके पिता हैं, उनके जो बड़े भाई हैं,
हेलो।
या उनके आसपास जो लोग नशा करते हैं, उनको भी वो इस नशे से दूर करने की कोशिश करेंगे। मैं एक लड़की का एग्जाम्पल देना चाहूंगी कि उसके घर में उसके जो पापा हैं और उसके मामा आ, बहुत नशा करते हैं, शराब पीते हैं, बीड़ी गुटखा खाते हैं। उसने जब यहाँ से सीखा कि हमें नशा नहीं करना चाहिए, हमें नशे से दूर रहना चाहिए और नशे से कितना नुकसान हमको होता है, उसने जाके अपने पापा से बात की, मामा से भी बात की। पापा ने तो उसको डांट दिया, लेकिन जो मामा थे उन्होंने कहा कि बेटा मैं कोशिश कर सकता हूँ, क्योंकि अब मैं इसका बहुत आदी हो गया हूँ, लेकिन मैं फिर भी कोशिश करूंगा कि मैं इस नशे को छोड़ पाऊँ। तो हमें लगता है कि इस तरह की बहुत सारी जो पॉजिटिव चीजें हैं, अगर बच्चे कोशिश करते हैं तो हमें बहुत सारी चीजें मिलती हैं। एक लड़की का और उदाहरण है कि वो उसका जो भाई है वो अपने पिता के लिए गुटखा, बीड़ी, तंबाकू ये सारी चीजें खरीद के मतलब लेके आता था। तो उसकी जो बहन थी उसने कहा कि तू मतलब ये सारी चीजें खरीद के लेके आता है और एक दिन मतलब तू भी नशा करने लगेगा और तू भी नशेड़ी हो जाएगा, उसने ये शब्द उसको कहे थे। तो उस लड़के को मतलब काफी बुरा लगा और उसने अगले दिन से ही मतलब वो अपनी बहन को कहा कि मैं अब ये लेके ही नहीं आऊंगा, तो मैं नशेड़ी कैसे बनूंगा। तो उसने अगले दिन से ही अपने पिता को मना किया कि अब मैं ये खरीद कर नहीं लाऊंगा, अगर आपको खाना है तो आप खुद भी लेकर आओ, मैं नहीं लेकर आऊंगा। तो इस तरह के बहुत सारे उदाहरण हैं। और एक लड़की ने अपने पिता को मतलब उसके पिता काफी ड्रिंक वगैरह करते हैं, बीड़ी पीते हैं, और मतलब शुरू में तो इतनी समझ नहीं थी, लेकिन जब से वो सेंटर में आने लगी तो उसने अपने पिता को बोला कि पापा आप थोड़ा ये कम करो, क्योंकि अब उसके जो पापा हैं वो काफी बीमार रहने लगे और बीड़ी बहुत पीते हैं, तो बीड़ी की वजह से बहुत खांसी होती है, बहुत परेशानी होती है। तो उसने अपने पापा को बार बार मतलब मना किया कि आप जब बीड़ी पीते हो तो आपकी जो खांसी है वो और ज्यादा बढ़ जाती है, और डॉक्टर ने भी आपको मना किया है, तो आप इन सब चीजों को थोड़ा सा कम करने की कोशिश करो। तो बार बार, एक बार तो नहीं, लेकिन उसने जब बार बार अपने पिता को कहा तो उसके जो पिता है उन्होंने बीड़ी मतलब बंद तो अभी नहीं की है, लेकिन उन्होंने उसकी जो तादाद है, जहां वो दिन में 5 से 6 बार पीते थे, अब उन्होंने 2 से 3 बार ही उसको किया है और वो और कम करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, और शराब भी थोड़ा सा कम उन्होंने कर दी है। तो इस तरह के बहुत सारे जो उदाहरण है वो हमारे पास हैं। लड़कों के भी हमारे पास बहुत सारे उदाहरण हैं।
बोलिए नीलम जी।
सभी को नमस्ते। मेरा नाम नीलम है और मैं वेलकम इलाके से हूँ। सर, जैसे कि आज हम नशे के ऊपर बात कर रहे हैं, तो जब हम देखते हैं अपने आसपास तो बहुत आसानी से लोगों को नशा प्रोवाइड हो रहा है, और इसमें से काफ़ी सारे लोग ऐसे हैं जो नशे की चीज़ों को नशा मानते ही नहीं है, जैसे कि टोबैको हो गया, सिगरेट और बीड़ी पीना, सुपारी खाना, यहाँ तक कि ये जो चुटकी वगैरह आती है ये लोग नॉर्मल बच्चे भी खाते हैं, क्योंकि वो उसको नशा ही नहीं समझ रहे हैं। तो हमारे यहाँ पर ये है कि आसानी से तो नशा मिल रहा है, लेकिन बहुत सारी चीज़ों में यहाँ पे नशा भी है। जो हमारे गली के जो कॉर्नर है यहाँ पे एरियाज में, तो वहाँ पे नशा बेचा जाता है। मोस्टली क्या होता है कि ये जो बड़े लोग हैं वो बच्चों से नशा मंगाते हैं कि ठीक है 2 रुपए ले लेना, 5 रुपए ले लेना, ये तुम रख लेना, हमें ये ला दो। तो वो मना भी नहीं कर पाते, क्योंकि उनमें से कुछ उनके घर के ही हैं, पड़ोस के हैं, फैमिली मेंबर, वो फ्रेंड्स हैं, भाई वगैरह लगते हैं, तो वो लोग लेके भी आ जाते हैं। कुछ लोग दोस्तों के दबाव में भी आके नशा करना शुरू कर रहे हैं कि ठीक है दोस्त ने बोल दिया तुम ये करो, क्यों करना, हम तुम्हारे फ्रेंड नहीं हैं। इस तरीके से भी जो नहीं चाहते हैं वो लोग भी नशे की तरफ जा रहे हैं। कुछ लोग अपने एंजॉयमेंट के लिए नशा कर रहे हैं। जब हमने बच्चों से पूछा था, जैसे कि हमने कल्याणी दीदी की ट्रेनिंग ली थी नशा मुक्ति के लिए, तो उसमें जब हमने यहाँ पे आके ट्रेनिंग्स करी बच्चों के साथ में, जो हमने पीयर एजुकेटर के ग्रुप्स बना रखे हैं, तो उसमें से काफी सारे नशे ऐसे निकल के आए जो हमें भी नहीं पता था। जैसे कि उन लोगों ने बताया था कि पेन आता है, हुक्के वाला पेन आता है, उससे लोग नशा कर रहे हैं, जबकि ये बोलते हैं कि वो फ्लेवर वाला है, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं उसमें थोड़ी मात्रा में लेकिन नशा है। दूसरा ये है कि परिवार वाले उनको इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं दे रहे हैं, बच्चों को अटेंशन नहीं दे रहे हैं, तो बाहर जाते हैं वो नए फ्रेंड्स के लिए, जहाँ पे उनको ज्यादा सपोर्ट मिलता है और उनके इमोशंस को समझा जाता है, वो लोग वहां पे चले जाते हैं और वहीं फिर ये सब चीजों की शुरुआत हो जाती है। जो ऐसे लोग हैं वो ज्यादा सपोर्ट करते हैं कि हम अब कोई है हमें समझने वाला, हम लोग इनके पास चले जाते हैं, लेकिन उनको ये नहीं पता कि वो उनसे क्या करवा सकते हैं। अगर वो नहीं भी करना चाहते हैं, उनके साथ रह के उन पे वो असर आ जाता है कि वो नशा करना शुरू कर देते हैं। इसी के साथ हमारे यहाँ ऑटो में बाहर मतलब पार्किंग बनी हुई है, वहां पे ऑटो में लोग ग्रुप बना के नशा कर रहे हैं, शराब पी रहे हैं, स्मैक पी रहे हैं। ये सब चीजें बहुत नॉर्मल हो गई हैं। लोग यहाँ पे बोलने से डरते भी हैं, क्योंकि ये लोग क्या होता है कि ब्लेड रख रहे हैं अपने पास, चाकू रख रहे हैं, किसी ने कुछ कह दिया तो तुरंत मतलब मार दिया। और यहाँ पे पुलिस की बात की जाए तो ऐसे लोग जो हैं, जब थोड़ा मतलब माहौल ज्यादा बेकार हो जाता है, उन लोगों को पकड़ के ले जाते हैं और फिर वही कि थोड़े बहुत पैसे जो होते हैं उनके पास वो देके आ जाते हैं पुलिस वालों को, तो वो उनको छोड़ देते हैं। फिर दोबारा से यही प्रोसेस कि हाँ ठीक है कुछ हुआ या फिर चोरी की। एक तो नशे के पीछे यहाँ पे रात की तो बात है ही, लेकिन दिन में भी ये होता है कि चेन खींच ली किसी की, कोई जा रहा है उसका मोबाइल छीन लिया, पर्स छीन लिया, दिन दहाड़े। वहां पे लोग खड़े होकर देख रहे हैं लेकिन कोई कुछ कर नहीं पाता डर की वजह से। और नशे के लड़के हैं उन लोगों का तो है ही, लेकिन जो लड़कियां हैं वो भी नशे की वजह से वैश्यावृत्ति में जा रही हैं। वो करना नहीं चाहती ये सब, लेकिन फिर भी उनको ये सब करना पड़ रहा है क्योंकि वो अपने होश में रह के वैश्यावृत्ति का काम नहीं कर सकती हैं। इसलिए उनको नशा लेना पड़ता है जबरदस्ती, ताकि वो शारीरिक संबंध बना सकें।
बोलिए राजेश, बोलिए।
बोलिए।
जी, मेरा नाम राजेश है। मैं एक्शन इंडिया में SRHR प्रोग्राम है जिसमें मैं एज अ यूथ ऑडिटर वर्क करता हूँ। और हमने जो देखा है कि नशा बहुत तरीके से कम्युनिटी में फैल रहा है और ये आसानी से मिल जाता है लोग बच्चों को। और बच्चों ने कई हमारे जो सेशंस वगैरह होते हैं उनमें बताया है कि हमारे को अगर फैमिली, सबसे पहले हमारे को फैमिली से होता है ये स्टार्ट। क्योंकि जब हमारे फैमिलीज वगैरह में हमें अगर कोई मंगा रहा है तो हम उसे मना भी नहीं करते। अगर हम मना भी करते हैं कहीं ना कहीं तो हमें ये बोला जाता है कि आप बड़ों की बात नहीं सुनते। तो फिर उन्हें लालच दिया जाता है कि 2-4 रुपए एक्स्ट्रा जो बचेंगे वो आप रख लेना। तो फिर वो कहीं ना कहीं बच्चा सोचता है कि फैमिली में और कोई तो दे नहीं रहा पैसे, तो कहीं ना कहीं वो अपना उसी, तो वो कहीं ना और कई एरियाज हमारे यहाँ पर ऐसे होते हैं कि जहाँ खुद नशा खुलेआम बिकता है, रेड डिपार्टमेंट वगैरह की रेड पड़ती है, तो उस तरफ में उन्हें सबको पहले ही अवेयर कर दिया जाता है कि हम लोग आ रहे हैं। कोई ना कोई डिपार्टमेंट में से बता दिया जाता है उसमें। और कई बच्चों ने वो यही बताया कि जब हम लोग मीटिंग्स वगैरह करते हैं उनमें बच्चों ने बताया कि ना ये आसानी से हमें ही पता होता है कि कहाँ पर मिलेगा और कैसे मिलेगा और किससे मिलेगा। क्योंकि कई जगह होता है कि हम बना कर देते हैं, कई तो उन्हें आसानी से मिलने को भी हो जाता है।
मीनाक्षी।
सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। मैं DLS से मीनाक्षी जहांगीरपुरी से। मैं DLS से पिछले 3 साल से जुड़ी हुई हूँ, जिसमें हम कम्युनिटी के साथ, महिलाओं के साथ, पुरुषों के साथ, सीनियर सिटीजन सभी के साथ वर्क कर रहे थे। तो उसी बीच हमारे को DLS के ही थ्रू हमें STYM से जुड़ने का मौका मिला, जिसके तहत हमने बच्चों के साथ प्रोग्राम किए हैं। STYM में जब हम जुड़े तो पहले हमारा ट्रेनिंग सेशन हुआ था, जिसमें हमने सीखा था कि कम्युनिटी में बच्चों के साथ हमको कैसे एक अपना रिश्ता उनके साथ बनाना है, ताकि बच्चे हमसे जुड़ सके और बच्चे हमारे से अपनी मन की बात शेयर कर सके, कि हम बच्चों को नशे से या जो भी उनके अंदर ऐसी आदतें हैं जो उनके लिए हानिकारक है, उनको उससे दूर रख सके। तो बेसिक ये था कि बच्चों के साथ हम कैसे जुड़े। तो हमने शुरुआत की अपनी ही कम्युनिटी से, जहाँ पर हमने ऐसे एरिया को चुना जहाँ बच्चे स्कूल ना जाकर ज्यादा से ज्यादा नशा कर रहे थे, पार्कों में, किसी नुक्कड़ पर, किसी खुले मैदान में। तो इसके अंदर एक बच्चों का एज ग्रुप ज्यादा इन्वॉल्व होता है, वो होता है 8 से 16-17 साल के बीच के जो बच्चे होते हैं। ऐसे बच्चे स्कूल ना जाकर स्कूल से बंक करके पार्कों में चले जाते हैं, वहाँ पे बीड़ी सिगरेट इस तरह का नशा लेते हैं। जो बच्चे स्कूल नहीं जाते वो ऑलमोस्ट लेते ही हैं। उनका तो रूटीन है कि वो रेगुलर इधर उधर घूमकर नशा किसी भी तरह का लेंगे, चाहे वो बीड़ी सिगरेट गुटखा कुछ भी हो। लेकिन इस प्रोग्राम का मेन मकसद, जहां तक मुझे लगता है, मैं अपने अनुसार बता रही हूँ, कि जो इसमें इन्वॉल्व है उनको तो इससे बाहर निकालना ही है, बट जो बच्चे इसमें नहीं पड़े उनको अवेयर करना था बहुत जरूरी। तो हमने इस प्रोग्राम को जब शुरू किया तो हमने ये नहीं देखा कि इसमें जो स्कूल जाते हैं उन्हीं बच्चों को लेना है या जो बच्चे स्कूल नहीं जाते उनको लेना। हमने जितने भी बच्चे हमको मिले, हमने सभी बच्चों को अपने साथ प्रोग्राम में जोड़ा। इसमें लड़कियां भी थी, बच्चे भी थे, थोड़े यंगस्टर भी थे। जब हमने बच्चों को जोड़ा तो बच्चे शुरू में अपनी बात कहने में झिझकते थे, डर रहे थे कि भाई ये हमारे साथ क्या करने आ रहे हैं यहाँ पर। लेकिन जब हमने उनके साथ एक ट्रस्ट बना लिया, उनके साथ अपना एक रिश्ता बाइंड कर लिया, तो बच्चों को लगा कि हाँ शायद हमारे अच्छे के लिए कुछ हो रहा है। तो बच्चे आसानी से जुड़ गए थे, ऐसा नहीं है कि बच्चे भाग रहे थे। लेकिन जो थोड़ी एजेड बच्चे थे, थोड़े बड़े थे, जैसे 16-17 साल के, वो बच्चे थे जो बच्चे अच्छे से जोड़ रहे थे, उनको वो उनका ब्रेन वॉश कर रहे थे कि भाई तुम वहां मत जाओ, वहां पे तुम्हें क्या सिखाएंगी, वो क्यों छोड़ना चाहते हो, बेकार की चीजें हैं, इस तरह। तो हमने फिर ऐसे बच्चों को प्रोग्राम में जोड़ना थोड़ा कम किया, जो बच्चों को जुड़ने से रोक रहा था। हमने उन्हीं बच्चों को जोड़ना शुरू किया जो बच्चे हमारे साथ जुड़ना चाह रहे थे। बच्चों को हमने सीधे ड्रग्स के बारे में हम कभी बात नहीं करते किसी भी बच्चे से। हम बच्चों के साथ पहले जुड़ते हैं, उनके साथ उनकी बातें करते हैं, वो क्या करते हैं, उनका रूटीन क्या है, फैमिली में क्या कौन कौन है, फैमिली में क्या बैकग्राउंड है। जब बच्चा धीरे धीरे खुल जाता है, तब हम उनके साथ धीरे धीरे इस टॉपिक को शुरू करते हैं।
थैंक यू मीनाक्षी।
थैंक यू मैम।
No, I think now I think we can take some question answers, ma'am. We have a few questions, Kalani ma'am. I think so, ma'am, can we take the questions, ma'am?
If they are community intervention based, yes, but if
Yeah,
they
yeah,
are
yeah,
too
yeah,
much of
yeah.
drug based, I may not be able to answer.
No. It is on community based. So I think before that, ma'am, I would like to thank all our people who are in the ground. I think they're the main warriors, because we are the people sitting in the offices, and those are the people who are really the grassroots level warriors who are there in the centers, facing different issues. And like we said, there is so much of problem which is going on outside. A lot of people who are well-to-do people and people from affluent societies, they do not know what is happening right in the grassroots, or people who have a certain standard of living, they do not know what is happening in the grassroots. I think जो हमारे सारे जिन्होंने सबने बातचीत की, आई थिंक वो लोग हमारे ग्रास रूट लेवल वॉरियर्स हैं ग्राउंड में। आई थिंक बिना आपके आई थिंक कुछ नहीं हो सकता। सो वी सल्यूट यू एंड वी थैंक यू ऑल। एंड आई थिंक ये एक लिंक है, और ये लिंक बहुत जरूरी है between the grassroots and between the main management. तो I think we thank, हम सबको धन्यवाद देना चाहेंगे। I think आपने अपना कीमती समय दिया, so we thank you all. So कुछ एक दो प्रश्न हैं जो I think कल्याणी मैम, ये कुछ NGO से हैं जो साउथ से और अलग अलग एरिया से हैं, कि ये की मोबिलाइज करने में सबसे what are the major challenges which are faced in mobilizing, how do we mobilize the youth, क्या challenges आते हैं? तो ये पहला प्रश्न है मैम।
चैलेंजेस तो सबसे पहले यही होगा कि उनको इंटरेस्ट हो इसमें या नहीं है। आई थिंक आई शुड स्पीक इन इंग्लिश बिकॉज आई थिंक द क्वेश्चन इज कम फ्रॉम द सदर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया। सी देयर आर मेनी challenges, but that's what I said. Once we shouldn't really go with a very specific agenda to start off. If we just go into the community, interact very freely with children and adolescents, I think they are the easiest to interact with, because I'm also from social work background. So this is how we learned. We just went into the community, spent time, maybe just interacting with families, interacting with different people, knowing what, with the culture and things like that. And then it's very easy to spot a few children who are playing and then, get and start off, by forming a group and start playing games, sports and things like that. So, and that is the only way to get into a community and start interacting. The challenges are there because with the children these days, they don't have time. They have so much of, academic work, so they may not really come. But if your program is interesting enough and they realize that, there is maybe even if they can come for half an hour or 1 hour per day, which is for them a de-stressing thing, a refreshing think they will be definitely coming. Second challenge could be from the level from the parents also. That is why it's very important to take into account their involvement. Like we have done, we have gone through the Mahila Panchayats or the women's program, because once they realize that this is an important component and they are actually they are suffering from it every day. There is substance abuse, there is alcoholism which is rampant, and if we can give them an alternative, saying that this is a space we are trying to create wherein your children can come, and so that you can also be relaxed and you don't have to bother where are the children going in the evening, so you can come and see what is happening in the center. So that kind of creates a trust element with them. So this is it. And definitely I think you will have challenges from the people who are selling drugs. That is a major challenge. And sometimes I think you'll have to even take into account, you may even have to inform the police stations or something like that for your own protection, because that kind of resistance is bound to come. So there could be challenges from children, from the parents, or from the people who are selling also. So we'll have to really be very careful. Sometimes, whenever we do any awareness programs, we inform the police, the local police to start off, so that they are aware, and maybe they can, send a beat constable or somebody who can, be there, as so that the program is not disturbed and no untoward incident happens. Thank you.
One last question we have. I think आपने अभी पुलिस की बात की, मृदुला जी ने भी बात की, 2-3 और वॉलंटियर्स ने. तो ये क्वेश्चन इसी पे है मैम कि अगर वॉलंटियर्स को पता है, अगर लोगों को पता है, तो why isn't action being taken against these police officers जिनको पता है प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट हो रही है और वो भी इसमें इन्वॉल्व हो रहे हैं? तो वो कैसे, मतलब हाउ टू डील विद इट? कि ये एक प्रश्न है जो 2-3 लोगों ने पूछा है मैम. इट्स अ कंबाइंड क्वेश्चन, और ये दिस इज नॉट जस्ट अबाउट और ये और बिल्कुल ये दिल्ली की बात नहीं है. ये हमारे और भी कुछ पार्टिसिपेंट्स है जिनको सेम इशू फेस होता है अलग अलग स्टेट्स में. कि जैसे मृदुला जी ने बोला कि पुलिस को भी पता है, सबको पता है, तो कैसे, क्योंकि हम पुलिस तो देखते हैं, वी लुक एट पुलिस who are protectors of us, protecting us. तो कैसे मतलब कैसे लोग, how can people take preventive measures, और या कैसे मतलब कंप्लेन करे अपने सीनियर्स ऑफिशियल्स को, या कैसे मैम? So just one last question.
Complaining against them really doesn't work, because they are really powerful, I feel. I think we need to just mobilize ourselves better in a bigger way, because sometimes the grassroots pressure works. And also I think take into account other NGOs working in the vicinity, or child rights people, those kind of agencies have a better stay, I mean feel. For example, like the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, or those kind of people, we should kind of make friends with them, allies with them, and all other kinds of NGOs. And if we in a joint way maybe go and speak to the police people, I mean, let's not have a confrontational kind of an attitude with them, because वो help नहीं करता कि उनके साथ हम भिड़ जाएं. Sometimes हम लोगों को उनके साथ जा करके कई मीटिंग्स करनी पड़ेंगी. We'll have to appraise them, and then they will also come out with how crime is increasing in that area. They know this very well कि इनकी वजह से crime भी है. तो अगर उनका भी एम है, their aim is also to reduce crime, because they also have to show that they are doing their job so that the crime is not happening in the so I think it's just a different way of engaging with them to start off, and I think then they come around. So these are some of the things we have tried. We have gone in, in groups, and we've had we have also called them for different programs, so that you make allies in them rather than a confronting much their agenda as well. So then it becomes easy for them to also participate, I think.
उन्होंने भी एक बहुत अच्छा एक ग्रास रूट में एक्चुअल में होता क्या है, आई थिंक उन्होंने भी शेयर किया. सो हम सभी जो हमारे एक्सपीरियंस शेयरिंग जिन्होंने किया, हम उनको धन्यवाद देना चाहेंगे वंस अगेन. और नाउ जस्ट विदाउट टेकिंग मच ऑफ टाइम, आई वुड जस्ट रिक्वेस्ट सतभान जी to kindly give the vote of thanks. And Sadbhanji.
Thank you so much. It's always pleasure to be associated with VYK and do such webinars. It's always great to have such wonderful partners to go and collaborate with on such beautiful events. Firstly, of course, a sincere thank you and gratitude to Rajesh sir and Kalyani ma'am. I think whenever they speak, it's something that they always add on to our existing knowledge, and that always helps to understand how the entire issue of drugs is and how we can work on it to make our youth more aware and more informed. I think that's very important. Where Rajesh sir talked about drugs and the basics of what are legal and illegal drugs and how we can work around them, Kalyani ma'am spoke very diligently about how we can work in communities in order to prevent the use of drugs among children. Thank you so much. And also a big heartfelt thank you to all the volunteers and paralegal volunteers, those who work with us from the grassroots who have joined. It's always your learnings that we learn from, and it's always from your learnings we learn and add on to the existing knowledge of what we see. So thank you so much for that. A big thank you also goes out to VYK, Ajit Kumar sir and Rajat sir, of course. We should do this more often, and I know you've been doing such webinars since quite long, since the pandemic started, and it's just, I think this is how we have to accept the new realm, the digital realm in the time of pandemic, and I think this is going to go a long way even if the pandemic ends. So thank you so much. I am sure the viewers who were a part of it throughout the entire session have also learned something, and it's also because of you guys we come up with new formats and new topics to discuss on. So thank you for keeping us motivated. Thank you so much. Over to you, Rajat sir.
Much, Sadban. I think thank you so much. I think we have young, energetic people like you, so it really works out. It helps us really a lot. I think before just concluding the program, I just want to share a very small information that about the next webinar that Vishwa Yuva Kendra is organizing. It is on the 5th, 6th and 7th of October. It is a leadership and motivational talk that we are doing with the college, Akhilandeshwari College, which is in Vandavasi in Tamil Nadu. We are organizing a three-day leadership and motivational talk with the college in collaboration with Akhilandeshwari College. So we would request a lot of participants to be part of this program. It will be very useful because it is a webinar which is focused for the youth, So अगर हम एक अच्छे leaders बना सके ground में, तो I think अपने आप हमारे पास warriors हो जाएंगे जो हमको सारे issues से fight करेंगे. So youth need to be motivated. So I think that is very important. And lastly, I would like to thank all our speakers. I would like to thank all the patrons, all the board of management of SPYM, all the board of management of Vishwa Yuva Kendra, Rajesh sir, Kalyani ma'am, Uday sir. I would like to thank you all. And like I said, please be connected to us. And और आपको एक Google feedback form हमने दिया था, वो please let us know, because आपके feedback के ऊपर based ही हम we can work better on the programs. और इस certificate के लिए भी आप as soon as possible register करके you will be receiving your certificates. So thanking you all once again and have a pleasant and wonderful day. Thank you so much all.
Thank you, Rajat ji, and
thank you.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.